Unpopular opinion. Do you have one? I'm sure we all have had an unpopular opinion at one time or another. You can't get through this day and age of the internet without having an unpopular opinion. But have you ever had one so burning, so glaring, just met with so much vitriol that you said, you know what, it must be me. It must not be them, it must be me. It must be something I didn't understand. Well, being a 41-year-old booktuber in a market that's particularly dominated by the mid-20, early 20, late teens kind of thing, I realize I'm going to have difference of opinion from some of them sometimes. There's 10, 15-year gap in our age. I get that. What I didn't realize, though, was that the college-age wish fulfillment market was just so huge. I guess you can teach an old dog new tricks. Hey, what's up, bookworms and I guess Rothfuss fans? Mike here again to piss you all off, I think, because something that I did not that long ago was a review for The Lies of Locke Lamora, and if you don't know, that is pretty much like the end-all be-all of fantasy, not named Name of the Wind. And the fact that I didn't hate it, but I wasn't like over the moon for it like the rest of BookTube is. So it has actually got quite a few salty comments on my video for it, and that's fine. That's fine. Like I've always said, I'm never going to bullshit you guys. I'm always going to be straight with you. But something I get asked a lot about is why I didn't love The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. Look, I understand the reputation that this book has. Okay, it's very, very popular. A lot of people consider it this age's Lord of the Rings. A lot of people say that Patrick Rothfuss might have the greatest prose ever. Do you see what I'm doing here? A lot of these things that I heard leading up to reading this book built it up so much, but you feel like there's no way that it can meet those expectations. But I feel like I'm the type of reader where I don't let that bother me. I can have a book that's hyped to the moon, still go into it with normal expectations, and not have a problem with it not being able to meet those. With this, I don't think it was just the hype and the expectations as much as it just wasn't that great of a story. Off to a really good start here, aren't we? Let me just say right up front that this video is going to contain no spoilers for The Name of the Wind. If you haven't read it, if you're one of the 5 fantasy fans out there, or someone who would actually be watching this channel, and you have not read The Name of the Wind, don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything for you. And you know what? I don't feel like there's much I could spoil for you because nothing freaking happens in this book. I know it was a really dumb idea to do this video because, like I said, I feel like this book is just absolutely beloved. People that I respect a lot have told me that they think this is the most important book that since Tolkien. And they feel like this is the most important book of the last 25 years, at least, for the genre. And I just don't get it. I just do not get it. I mean, I actually hear people tell me things like, you know what, the story isn't actually that good. It's just his prose is beautiful. What? There's lots of people who write really well, but they've got good stories too. You ever heard of Robert Jordan? I don't understand why people can be like, well, the story ain't that great. It's just the prose is beautiful. Read poetry. I don't get that as an explanation for it. This book has probably the least likable protagonist that I've read in a fantasy book in probably since like Aragon. Yeah, that's what I compare it to. I don't compare it to Tolkien. I compare it to freaking Paolini. I don't understand why people like the story so much. Again, if it's just the prose, it's just the writing, awesome. But there's something I just did not get with this book. I disliked it so much I didn't even read the second book in the series, which a lot of people have told me isn't as good. And I'm like, wow, it isn't as good as the first one? Not a very good sales job, you guys. Now, an excuse I hear a lot is unreliable narrator. It's an unreliable narrator because it's both the protagonist is actually the one who is reciting his life story here. So, of course, he's just going to give you all the good stuff and make himself sound wonderful. To me, that sounds like an excuse for mediocre writing, a mediocre storytelling. Look, I'll be honest. Yes, the man is a very talented writer. He really is. He has a way with words. I understand why people like that. I'm not denying his talent as a writer. I'm denying his talent as a storyteller because I wasn't captivated by this story in the least. Like I said in the prelude, I felt like it was just college-age wish fulfillment. Something I don't like about YA fantasy is I just feel like it's all wish fulfillment at this point. And that's not what I read a story for. I don't want a Mary Sue or a Gary Stu. I don't want a wimp. I don't want a badass. I just want a good protagonist that has a character arc and has growth over time. Not one that's just freaking awesome at everything. Oh, well, he lost his parents or something. That doesn't make it a great story. I mean, almost every comic book I've ever read, the superhero lost their parents. That doesn't make him anything special. That doesn't make him a unique snowflake. I don't understand, man. I want you guys to explain this to me. So I know there's not a lot of meat to this video. I just constantly have people ask me, oh my God, you didn't, I mean, they act like I just said I don't like chocolate or something. They're like, oh my God, you didn't like The Name of the Wind? Oh my God, I think it's the most incredible book I've ever read. I've read it like 10 times. How? How have you read this 10 times? What did you get out of it? I don't see it. I just don't understand, man. That's all it is. That's all it is. If it sounds like just pure hatred, I think it's more because, like, this is kind of a sports euphemism if people don't understand. It's like when you're kind of indifferent about an athlete, but then, like, the fanboys or fangirls, or more so with teams, there's a team you're indifferent to, but their fans, like, drive you absolutely crazy. I feel like that's what this is. The people that just act absolutely appalled if you say you don't think this is the greatest book you've ever read. And I don't know. I go back to, it's got to be me. It's got to be something I didn't get. Liza Locklamora, I felt like that was a structure thing. That wasn't anything about the story. I thought the story was fine. Yeah, some of the long con stuff could have been edited down. But again, for a first-time writer, I didn't have any problem with the story. I just felt like the structure was very, very bad. And he jumped around more than a Tarantino movie. This is just not that great of a story to me. So if you're still watching at this point, which I'd be surprised if you are, I'm just going to kind of watch my subscriber count, just go down like you're watching the gas tank while you're flooring it. That's fine. That's fine. Like I've said, I'm never going to bullshit you guys in this channel. I just kind of want to explain why this story never clicked for me like it clicked for everyone else. But what I did promise, and at this point I feel like it's an empty promise because I don't think it's ever going to happen, was that when the third book gets an announcement, I will try again. You know, I read this for the first time, I think, in 2015. A lot has changed in 5 years. I've read a lot of different stuff. Maybe going into it with a different set of expectations. Maybe I'll enjoy it more. I don't know. But then again, I don't know. I don't see how I'm going to read it a second time and all of a sudden be like, oh, now I get it. You know, but I've also said Dune, my favorite book of all time. First time I read it, I was like, what is this pretentious shit? I mean, I really did. I didn't get it. I was like, what is the deal with this? I don't even understand. Read it again in high school, blew my mind. Completely blew my mind to the point where I know a lot of people say, oh yeah, that book changed my life. And they don't mean it. I mean it with Dune. I really feel like that with Dune. Dune changed the way that I looked at everything and how I approached all facets of life. And that's not hyperbole. I really feel that way. So who knows? Maybe a second reading, it'll click for me and I'll at least get it. Because right now, yeah, if you're one of those people who's like, oh, you just didn't get it. You're right. I didn't get it. I do not get it. And I don't understand the people that say that he is like the greatest writer ever. I saw actually, and you know, it's Reddit, so you got to take that with a grain of salt. Which, by the way, this is the King Killer Reddit, only Reddit I've ever been banned from. You know what I said? I wasn't even like this vocal about it. All I said was, the book wasn't, you know, amazing to me, so I don't think I'm going to be picking up the second one. Boom, banned. So that was interesting. Real charming folks over there. But I saw on the fantasy Reddit, just r/fantasy, is just people saying like, oh, I tried to read Wheel of Time after I read Name of the Wind, and I just didn't think Robert Jordan was a very good writer. And that's why I'm just like, you know, I know that books are subjective or whatever, but that just blew my mind. There's recency bias, and then there's lunacy, and I feel like that's a lunacy, because I've said I think that Robert Jordan's one of the greatest writers we've ever had. Even if with my problems with Wheel of Time, which I'm going through right now, I definitely feel like he is one of the greatest writers ever. And if you say like you aren't into Tolkien or something, you know, I disagree, but I get that. I get that some younger audiences can't really get into really old traditional fantasy. I get that. I get that. If anything that came out since like 2010 or all they read, yeah, I get that you probably can go back to Tolkien and you could think it's a little dry and not be able to get to it. But to say something like Rothfuss is such a great writer, it made Jordan seem like a bad writer, holy hell, what is going on? So again, guys, I know that most viewers on this channel are blown away that I don't like this book, and they're just constantly asking me what exactly I didn't like about it, so I kind of wanted to just kind of get it on film and feel like this was a good opportunity to start a series called unpopular opinion, because we all have some. So guys, like I said, if you're still watching up to this point, you're not like thumbs downing the hell out of this, which I expect you will. It's fine. People can't handle difference of opinion sometimes. On this channel, I've always said I want us to have differences of opinion, and I want us to talk about them. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. It's books, man. It's subjective. It's opinion. It's fine. It's fine. So drop in the comments. Let me know what you guys loved about this story. Let me know if you're on my side of the fence and you just don't quite get the hysteria over this book. Or you know what? Your unpopular opinion alone. You want to drop in the comments and talk about that? Hey, let's do that. But let's try to keep it spoiler free in case people who have not read Name of the Wind do want to actually read it and want to be able to drop in the comments. But again, guys, I got this in my Liza Lachlan Moore video where people were like, oh, thanks, you just saved me time. No, I am not trying to influence you on reading these books at all. I'm going to give my opinion on them. And if I think that it's something that you should read, I will tell you flat out, I think it's something to read. Yes, I think that this is something you read. After I said all that, I think that this is something that you should read. Why? Because obviously it is a huge pop culture phenomenon of our moment, and you need to understand what is so great about it, or like me, I don't get it. You know, I feel like that you need to read this just so you can say that you have. It's one of those things where you got to say that you read this, or you got to say that you listened to this album or something like that, just because of the historical significance of it. It feels weird to say a book that's 10 years old, that there's this historical significance to it, but I feel like in the zeitgeist of our pop culture right now, it really is. I mean, this is the most hyped book since the Bible, in my opinion. So, guys, definitely drop in the comments. Let me know what you think. And again, if this was just too far for you, let me know, and I'll quickly disclude the unpopular opinion segment on this channel. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you in the comments.